The importance in the manufacturing of semiconductors, essential to all modern devices, nearly all modern devices, means industries such as consumer electronics and renewable energy could be affected. Also, fiber optic networks, which means the telecommunications industry may also suffer. Basically, almost everything tech related.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
What's up, everybody? Ron Placone here, reporting for Status Coup. So by now, you've probably heard about Trump's tariffs. This is a terrible idea, by the way. He wants to impose a 25% tariff on goods coming out of Canada and Mexico, a potentially 60% tariff on goods coming out of China, and we get a lot of goods out of China, y'all, and a 10 to 20% tariff on just all goods that are not domestic, anything from outside the United States. Now, the thing about tariffs is the burden is placed on consumers. What does that mean? Well, that means that the cost of everything is going to go up. This could drastically increase the cost of medicine, the cost of groceries, and the cost of a ton of goods that we rely on, especially electronics and things like that. Now, some people are saying maybe this is just a negotiation tactic by Donald Trump. Maybe this is just an art of the deal mastery tactic. Well, doesn't seem like that's working too well, because recently China struck back. But before we get there, let's just a quick refresher on what exactly is going on with these tariffs. This is from Al Jazeera. Can Donald Trump enact tariffs without Congress, and can anyone stop him? So President Trump wants to, or soon to be again, President Trump, he wants to add a 10 to 20% tariff on all non-domestic goods, 60% China, and 10 to 20 on Canada and Mexico. Economists say that Trump following through on these promises could reactivate inflation. Now, Al Jazeera has conducted a review of academic studies of real-world tariffs, and it indicates that consumers, they brunt the burden of it. So what Trump's probably trying to do is he's trying to raise revenue with these tariffs. Then he's going to use that to give a tax cut to rich people. Meanwhile, the rest of us are caught holding the bag. We're going to have to pay extremely high prices for everything. And keep in mind, this is a time where prices are extremely high already, especially grocery prices. Independent groups have estimated that Trump's proposed tariffs would cost a typical family $2,000 to $4,000 annually. So whatever you're spending now just to survive, factor in another $2,000 to $4,000 on that. It's a lot of money for most people these days. For most people, that is a lot of money. If fully applied, the North American tariffs could raise grocery prices. Mexico accounted for 69% of U.S. vegetable imports and 51% of fresh fruit imports. That's from 2022. New tariffs on Canada could spike gasoline prices. Supply chains for these and other goods could not quickly switch to domestic sources. And here's the rough part. If Trump wants to follow through on the tariffs, there may be no way to stop him. Experts say he could act unilaterally without support from a Congress that's perhaps more ambivalent to the tariffs than he is. So basically, yes, Trump can do this. This is what Trump plans to do. And whether he does it or not literally depends on who has his ear. If the people who have his ear say, hey, this is going to be a disaster, don't do it, he won't do it. If they don't have his ear, or if they're telling him to do it, he'll do it. That's it. No one else can stop him. And these tariffs will be a frickin' disaster. And China is striking back. It doesn't seem like the deal is working out for him. Because here's what China did. As of the recording of this today, I'm not sure when this will drop exactly, but this happened today as of when I'm recording this. Check this out, y'all. China blocked shipment of rare minerals to the U.S. Oh, man. China has banned the export of several strategically important minerals to the U.S. in response to the latest round of American restrictions to the Chinese chip-making industry and in anticipation of the tariffs. It has banned the export of multiple minerals. These are super hard minerals to the U.S., and these are dual-use minerals. The announcement follows Washington's decision to strengthen export restrictions on semiconductor manufacturing equipment and software tools, and to expand the list of Chinese companies subject to these control. Chinese rare earth metal restrictions also come just 6 weeks before the inauguration of Donald Trump, and concerns that his presidency will initiate a new period of trade warfare between the countries. So there's multiple factors going on here that the U.S. has been messing with China, and China just called the bluff. They said, okay, you want to impose these restrictions? You want to impose these tariffs on us? Guess what? You ain't getting these minerals. So here's the deal. They're not classified as rare earth minerals, but they're essential for the manufacturing of a wide range of modern technologies, especially semiconductors, fiber optic cables, and LEDs. So here's the deal. What industries will be affected? Let's start here. China's dominance of the global supply chain for these minerals and the relative underdevelopment of other nations' extraction and refinement capabilities means several industries could be impacted by the new measures. While the mention of the minerals' military purposes in China announcements indicates that the defense industry is a key target of the ban, the wide-ranging applications threaten several other sectors. The importance in the manufacturing of semiconductors, essential to all modern devices, nearly all modern devices, means industries such as consumer electronics and renewable energy could be affected. Also, fiber optic networks, which means the telecommunications industry may also suffer. So we're looking at all general electronics, renewable energy, solar, telecom services, basically almost everything tech related. Banning these minerals will have a significant impact on almost everything tech related. And yeah, this is not exclusively because of Trump's proposed tariffs, but that's certainly a big factor at play here. And the U.S. is just demonizing China every which way. And China said, okay, guess what? You ain't getting these minerals. And guess where that hurts you? Could it be everywhere? Yeah, everywhere. So we are living through a pretty wild time, y'all. There's no other way to put it. And the best thing we can do is prepare for what is likely coming down the pipeline. Here's a guide that CNN released that actually isn't half bad. What to buy now before Trump's tariff kicks in. During this busy holiday shopping season, of course, they gotta impose marketing in it. They got to make it all about the consumer, right? It isn't a matter of, I mean, I guess technically we're all consumers, but you know what I mean? It's not a matter of, hey, this is what you got to do to survive. It's like, hey, don't miss out on these shopping deals. But here's some of the stuff they say that you might want to get. iPhones and other smartphones. If you need a new smartphone, if you need a new iPhone, now's the time to get it. Vacuums, hair dryers, and kitchen appliances. If you need a new one of those, get them now. Gaming accessories, if you have the disposable means and you like your gaming stuff, get it. And of course, all portable electronics. Shoes, toys, those are the big ones. Now, what they don't include here is food, and they don't include food because there's only so much produce you can get at a given time. But the reality is the price of groceries are going to go up. Now, you can't stockpile fruits and vegetables. Not really. I mean, I guess unless you freeze some of it. So the better thing to do is plan. If you have a good relationship with your farmers markets, continue that. If you have a good relationship with people who grow food, if you grow food yourself, if you can grow food, do it. Do it. If you have the land, do it. You should already be doing it, but if you're not, start. Get to know the people in your community and see how you can cooperate with each other. There's communities throughout the United States where they basically have a system in place where people can exchange goods and services with each other. It's just a communal bartering system and a communal system of mutual aid. It's not always bartering. I think that is going to have to be a widespread thing for the survival of the United States as we know it. And you're already seeing that on different levels. I mean, even things like buy nothing groups on Facebook, which I do highly recommend. I mean, it sounds like a small drop in the bucket, and in many ways it is, but you never know when something could just help you get by. There are buy nothing groups in pretty much every neighborhood on Facebook where people are saying, hey, I had a big bounty of my rosemary. Does anyone want some rosemary? I'll leave it out by the curb or whatever. Or, you have a pair of jeans you don't want anymore, or you got something you're not using that you're just like, it'd be a pain in the butt to sell this. I'm just giving it away, whatever. And then people can kind of get by that way, sort of helping each other out. Hey, here's something you need that I don't. Here's something I need that you don't, et cetera, et cetera. Because the price of goods could get really freaking gnarly. We're already in a place where groceries are very, very high. And if the FTC allows the Kroger-Albertsons merger to go through, those high prices will be locked indefinitely. Inflation is still breathing down our necks. The price of groceries could become even more substantial than they are now. We're already feeling it. And by the way, these are all self-inflicted wounds. These companies are reporting record profits. They are making record profits. Inflation is happening, sure, but they're using inflation as an excuse to price gouge the shit out of you to make themselves richer, which is what Trump also wants to do with these tariffs. He wants to use these tariffs to generate revenue, to give more tax breaks to his rich friends. Meanwhile, everyone else in America is going to be struggling just to get their basic needs met. So you got to buckle in and prepare. That's really all you can do. And guys, I will end with a few announcements here. First of all, my podcast, 1000 with Ron Placone. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. And you can even get it here on YouTube, because YouTube carries podcasts now. You can get it over on my YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/Ron Placone. But my guest this week is Tina Desiree Berg. I know a lot of you follow Tina's work. So in this interview, for the first time, I've collaborated with Tina on a million different things, but for the first time, I really get to know her. I get to know the woman behind the work, and I get her to talk about her acting career, which she does not bring up often, but we take a deep dive into it. So we really get to, if you ever wondered what's Tina's deal start to current, check out this episode. I think you'll really enjoy it. It was a really fun collaboration, unlike anything we've ever done before. And for everyone in the Los Angeles area, my next production is a play that calls out the American healthcare system. It's called Termination Fee. We're going to launch it as a play, and we're going to make a movie out of it, which isn't a common way to go about things these days. But you know what? We wanted to do it, so we are. You can see part one of that play at Flappers Comedy Club, December 15th in Burbank. A lot of healthcare activists are going to be there, so it'll be a cool way to meet some really, really interesting people. You can get tickets right now at ronplacone.com. That's December 15th, 7 p.m., ronplacone.com for tickets. There's going to be a night of comedy, too. I'm going to be there. Sarah K. Gateau is going to be there. Andrew Saxon is going to be there. Graham Elwood's going to be there. Tickets at ronplacone.com. And this is Ron Placone for Status Coup, signing out.